Have you ever wondered what our very own universe looked like at the beginning stages of its life? Next March, NASA will be launching a deep space telescope that can show us just that. By this time next year, the James Webb Telescope will have already started its journey into looking into the deep cosmos and will be able to look deeper into space than humanity ever has before. The Hubble Space Telescope has provided scientists and astronomers with a wealth of information about our universe since its launch in 1990. But according to NASA's official website, the James Webb Telescope will take in 15 times more light and has a much higher resolution than the Hubble Space Telescope. Now, I've grown up my entire life always fascinated and curious about the sky, the stars, and everything beyond that we can't see with our naked eye, which is why I'm anxiously awaiting for the James Webb Telescope to launch and give astronomers a deeper look into space than ever before. The James Webb Telescope is going to be revolutionary for a few reasons, one of them being its extremely uncommon orbit, another being its ability to see much further into deep space than the Hubble ever could, and how it will help tremendously with the search for potentially finding intelligent life outside of our solar system. Let's start by learning about the ambitious idea for this telescope's orbit. The James Webb Telescope will have an orbit that is very unique from every other space telescope launched. It will be the first ever deep space telescope to not orbit the Earth. How is this possible, you may ask? Well, according to an article on NASA's website, it will reside in space 930,000 miles away from the Earth in the opposite direction of the Sun, and it will stay there. As you can see on this recreated diagram from NASA's official website, the James Webb Telescope will be orbiting with the Earth, always on the outside. The Moon and other satellites orbit around the Earth, which is not what the James Webb Telescope will be doing. Very important there. Now, you may be wondering why NASA is putting the satellite 930,000 miles away from the Earth, and it's for a few main reasons. When looking at this diagram, that is also recreated from NASA's official website, the Sun and the Earth both emit light that can interrupt the infrared light the James Webb Telescope will be receiving. So in order to completely block out the light, the James Webb Telescope will have its back turned on the Earth and the Sun at the same time, and is equipped with a sun shield that blocks out any light from coming in. That way it can observe the universe unobscured by any light from the Earth or Sun. Now, the James Webb Telescope's orbit will be extremely unique from any other satellite sent into space, but its orbit isn't even close to the most fascinating and exciting part of its launch into space. The James Webb Telescope's deep space images will show the universe in its early, beginning stages like we have never before seen. The Hubble Space Telescope has given us decades worth of incredible photos of extremely distant galaxies and solar systems across the universe. The Hubble telescope has been able to do this by showing us galaxies that are teenagers in terms of age, and Blake Bullock, astrophysicist and active contractor on the James Webb Telescope, told the Mother Nature Network in an online article this year that this will be capable to see the earliest stars and galaxies in the universe for the very first time. Stefano Cristiani, an Italian astronomer and astrophysicist, is quoted on NASA's website as saying that the James Webb Telescope will allow us to see a glimpse of the first steps of galaxy formation, and Webb's capabilities will show us the early universe with unprecedented clarity. The ability to see some of the first galaxy formations in our universe will be instrumental in aiding scientists to better understand what the early universe looked like shortly after the Big Bang. The search for hard evidence of life in our Milky Way galaxy and beyond has been a long journey with no success so far. The search for intelligent life will continue with the capabilities that the James Webb Telescope has. The planets of which intelligent life can potentially be found on are all around us in our own Milky Way galaxy, but with the imaging limitations of the Hubble Space Telescope, it has been unsuccessful finding any signs. Not only are imaging limitations holding scientists back, but many of the planets in our universe are obscured by thick dust clouds, according to NASA, making them impossible for us to find. But with the James Webb Telescope's infrared technology, it will be able to see through the floating dust into space and will reveal hidden stars and planets that were previously unknown. The James Webb Telescope will also be looking into planets in more depth. Dr. Stephen Nicholas, a science writer on BBC.com, explains how the James Webb Telescope will be able to pick up on minute atmospheric readings to detect whether atmospheres of planets are being modified by life, which has not been accomplished as previous telescopes are not capable of making such readings. The James Webb Telescope, with its advanced technology, can uncover possibilities of our universe that we never thought were possible. The James Webb Telescope breaks all norms when it comes to space telescopes. Its unusual orbit, infrared light gathering sensors, and capabilities to find intelligent life on other planets sets it far apart from any other telescope mankind has ever seen before. The James Webb Space Telescope has been an ongoing project that has been pushed back for years due to the complexity of its design, as well as a few technical difficulties along the way. But the inevitable launch of this telescope will be revolutionary. It has the potential to provide scientists with information that can shake up the way we look at our own place in the universe.